Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are fit and fine at your home. Dear students, today we shall study active and passive voice in English grammar. Students, without wasting time, let's get started with the direct topic, that is active and passive voice. Before studying what is active voice and passive voice, let's try to understand what do you mean by voice. Okay students, are you ready? Very good. Students, see here. Voice means a form or a set of forms, verb showing the relation of subject to the action. Okay students, so here in short what we can say, voice means or voice shows the relation between the verb and the subject, that is the doer of action. Okay students, have you understood this? Very good. Now let's try to understand what do you mean by active voice and passive voice. See student, in grammar the voice of verb describes the relationship between the action that the verb expresses and the participants identified by its arguments, that is subject, object. Okay, when the subject is the agent or the doer of action, the verb is in active voice. Yes student. See student, in any sentence we have a subject, a verb and most probably an object. Okay student, when the subject is the doer of action, that time we can say that the verb is in active voice. It means if the subject is the doer of action, if the subject is doing the action in the sentence, that time we can say the verb is in the active voice. Okay students, have you understood what is active voice? If the subject is active, if the doer of action is the subject, that time the verb is in active voice. Okay students, further we are going to understand this with an example. Okay, and you tell me now what is active voice? You can text your answer in the comment section. Okay, now let's try to understand what is mean by passive voice. See student, when the subject is the patient, target or undergoer of the action, the verb is said to be in the passive voice. Yes student, here now if the subject of the sentence is receiver of action, if it is receiving the action in the sentence, that time we can say the verb is in passive voice. Okay students, for example, when we give less importance to the subject, or when we see the subject of the sentence is receiver of the action, that time we can say the verb in the sentence is in passive voice. Okay students, again this we are going to illustrate with the example. Next we are going to see the illustration of this concept, that is active voice and passive voice. Actually what do you mean by active voice and what do you mean by passive voice, you will understand very clearly further. So let's have some examples now. See student, see the first example is mother cooks food. Students, just now I have told you in the English sentences, the structure of the English sentence is most probably subject, then verb, and then most probably object will be there. Okay, so what do you mean by subject? Student, the doer of the action is called as subject, or about a particular thing we receive information, that is called as subject. Okay, then verb, what does verb shows? Verb shows the action as well as tense or the time of the incident or action. Okay, and object, what is object? The thing which receives the action is called as object. So most probably in English sentences, the structure of the English sentence is subject, then verb, and then object. Okay students, have you understood? Now in this sentence we can see mother cooks food. Here in this sentence the action is done by mother. Okay, and the doer of action is called as subject. So here in this sentence mother is subject. Okay, what kind of action is being done here? You can text your answer in comment section. So the action of cooking is done here. So cook is a verb here. Okay, now what is being cooked, student? So food is being cooked. So here food is an object. Okay, student. And what is object, student? The thing which receives the action. So the action of cooking is received by the food here. So food is object. Okay, student. So clearly here you can understand now. Mother is subject, cook is verb, and food is object here. Okay, students. Now here just now I have told you, if subject is the doer of action, then the verb will be in active voice. So here mother is in action. Okay, mother is doing action here. So the verb cooks is in active voice. Okay, student, have understood this much? Okay, so here in the above sentence, mother is subject of the verb cook and food is the object. Just now I have told you, mother is the doer of action, that is cooks. So the subject in active voice, hence the verb is in active voice. Okay, and now this, what is the structure of the active voice then? Just now I have told you the structure of the sentence in English. So here in active voice, the structure of the sentence will be subject, that is the doer of action, verb that shows the tense as well as action, and the object which receives the action. Okay, understood, student? So in active voice, the structure of the sentence is subject plus verb plus object. Okay, student? So this is the active voice. Okay. Now we are going to understand passive voice with an example. Student, here I have mentioned the previous example, that is mother cooks food. Okay, yes. Now the second example we are going to understand here, food is cooked by mother. Now student, here understand the structure of this sentence, food is cooked by mother. So student, here in this sentence, food is a subject. Okay, yes, I have told you just now what is subject. Subject means a doer of action or the thing about which we are receiving the information. So in this sentence we are receiving the information about food. So food is a subject here. Okay, students? Yes, so food is a subject here. Is cooked is a verb which tells the action being done. Okay, and the object is here mother. Okay, student? So if we study the previous sentence and the present sentence, see, the previous sentence, mother is a subject, cooks is a verb, food is a object. Now in this sentence, food is a subject, is cooked is a verb, and mother is a object of the verb, that is cooked. Okay, students, have understood? So here we can clearly see food was object in the previous sentence. Okay, now in this sentence, food becomes the subject. Okay, so here we can see the object becomes subject. It means it switches its role. Object become subject. Okay, now is cooked is a verb here, and earlier we have seen cooks is the verb. Okay, student? Now by is used to connect the object here. Mother now here object. Okay, and in the previous sentence we have seen mother is a subject. So here again the subject and the object switches its role. Okay, object becomes subject, subject becomes object of the verb. Okay, student, have understood? So food is a subject here, is cooked is a verb here, and mother is object here. Okay, student, have understood? Very good. See, student, in the above sentence, now subject is food. It means that food was object in the previous sentence, and now it switches its role and becomes subject. Mother was subject earlier, now it switches its role, becomes object of a verb. Here food receives action of cooking. It means that it is in passive role, hence it is in passive voice. Yes, student. So here we can say that the verb is cooked in passive voice. The structure of this passive voice here, object becomes subject here, plus auxiliary verb, plus third form of the verb, that is past participle of verb, plus by, and plus object, that is the subject of the active voice sentence. Okay, student, have you understood what is mean by active voice and what is mean by passive voice? In simple sentence we can say that in active voice the subject is active, okay, and in passive voice the object becomes subject, okay, and the verb will be in passive voice. Okay, again in more simple we can do, in active voice importance is given to subject, and in passive voice importance is given to the receiver of this object. Okay, student, have you understood? Now here how the changes will be there in tenses and how will be active voice becomes passive voice, that we are going to learn tense wise. Okay students, so let's get started with the transformation of active voice into passive voice. Okay, now let's start with the example tense wise. So first of all, the active voice sentences in simple present tense. See student, if you learn this formula, that is very easy to learn. See, in active voice, just now I have told you the formula or the structure of the sentence, subject plus verb, it is simple present tense, so verb will take yes or es form plus object. And in passive voice, what will be the structure of the sentence? Object plus am is are. Why am is are? Because the sentence is in simple present tense, so am is are plus past participle of verb or the third form of verb connected by, joined by plus subject of the previous sentence. Okay, understood? That will be object here in passive voice. Now see student, first example, Sachin plays cricket. So this sentence clearly shows that it is from the simple present tense. Okay, so Sachin plays cricket. So what will be the passive voice? In passive voice, object of the voice sentence will be subject. So cricket is an object here, so now cricket will be subject here in passive voice. So the verb plays is in simple present tense, so we will take am is are. Okay, so here cricket is a singular noun, so is we will take, so cricket is. Now past participle of verb, so plays is the verb here, so what is the past participle of plays? Played. Okay, and the conjunction by here, and plus what? The subject of the sentence which is in active voice. So Sachin is the subject, so Sachin. Okay, so the sentence will be in passive voice, cricket is played by Sachin. Now the second example, one more example, Rohan reads books. Again this sentence is in active voice. Okay, the verb reads is in active voice because the doer of action is Rohan here. Okay, when the subject will be in action, that sentence will be in active voice. So the Rohan is reading the book, so Rohan reads the book. Okay, so here, and books in plural form now. So what will be in passive voice? Books is a plural noun or plural subject we can say, and according to that we have to select the auxiliary verbs. So books are read by Rohan. Read is a PP of verb, that is read in the active voice by Rohan. Okay student, have you understood? Very good. Now the third one, I write a letter. Now here, what is the object? A letter. So letter will become subject here, verb, and then by me. The case of the pronoun will change here. Okay, so a letter is, then the PP of verb write is written by me. Okay, so the case of the pronoun I has changed into the personal pronoun, that is me. Okay students, so the sentence will be letter is written by me. Okay student, have you understood? Very good. Now the next one. Yes student, now quickly I will make you understand the examples. Present continuous tense. See, first of all let's have the formula, subject plus ing form of the verb plus object. And in passive voice, object plus am is are plus being plus PP of verb by plus subject. Okay students, directly we will have the examples. she is singing a song. Now in passive voice, a song is being sung by her. Okay, yes, so case of she becomes her here. Okay student, now the second one, children are eating chocolates. Now see, in passive voice, chocolates are being eaten by children. Yes student, chocolates are plural noun, so our auxiliary verb we have taken here. Chocolates are being eaten by children. Now the third one, my friend is playing cricket. Now here in this sentence, my friend is subject, is playing is auxiliary verb, and cricket is the object. So we have to change according to the rule of passive voice. Cricket will become subject and my friend become what? The object. See now, cricket is being played by my friend. Okay student, have you understood? Very good. Now the next one, that is present perfect tense. Let's have the structure first. Subject plus has plus pp of verb, or the third form of verb, plus object. And in passive voice, object plus has, have, been, plus the third form of verb or past participle of verb, plus by, plus the subject. Okay students, now let's try to have the examples. First, Shona has spoken English. Okay, so here in this sentence, Shona is a subject, has spoken is a verb, and English is an object. Okay, now we have to change this according to the rule of passive voice. Now the object, that is English, will become subject and the subject Shona becomes object. So see here, English has been spoken by Shona. Okay, have you understood? Very good. Now student, the next one, that is the students have given the gifts. In this sentence, the students is a subject, have given is the verb, and the gifts are object. Okay, now according to the rule of the passive voice, subject becomes object, object becomes subject. So let's try to have the sentence in passive voice. The gifts have been given by the students. Okay, so gifts become subject and students becomes objects. Here we can clearly see here. Now the last one, that is teacher has taught grammar. Okay students, now see, teacher is a subject here, has taught is a verb here, and grammar is the object. So object becomes subject here, subject becomes object now. So grammar has taught by teacher. Okay, so grammar becomes subject here, has been taught is the verb, and by plus teacher is the object now. Okay, now the next tense we are going to understand. See student, now present perfect continuous tense will not be changed into passive voice. So directly we are going to understand the next tense, that is simple past tense. Okay, see student, the same formula is here. Subject plus past form of the verb plus object. Okay, now here past form we have to use, not the past participle in active voice. Okay, in passive voice then object plus was, were, plus past participle of verb, that is the third form of verb, by plus subject. Okay students, have you understood? Very good. So let's have the example now. The first one, I watched a movie. See student, in this sentence, I is a subject, watched is the past form of verb, that is the second form of verb. Okay, and the passive, in the passive according to the rule, a movie becomes subject and the subject I becomes object. Okay, so let's see, a movie was watched by me. So here the case of I will become me. Okay students, now the next example, that is he saw a tiger. So in this sentence, he is a subject, saw is the second form of verb see. Okay, see, saw, seen. See is the first form, saw is the second form, seen is the third form, that is past participle. Okay, now in passive voice, how it will be? A tiger was seen by him. Okay, him is the case of he. Okay, understood? Now the third one, Virat broke a window. Now in this sentence, Virat is a subject, that is the doer of action. broke is a verb and a window is a object. Now the object becomes subject and subject becomes object. A window was broken by Virat. Okay, students, have understood? So these are the forms of passive voice. Okay, understood? Very good. Now next we are going to understand, that is past continuous tense. First of all, let's have the structure. Subject plus was were, ing form of the verb plus object in active voice. Now in passive voice, what will be the structure? Object plus was were, being. Why we are using here being? Because the active voice sentence is in continuous tense. Okay, so was were being plus pp of verb, that is part participle of verb, plus by plus subject. Okay, student, so let's have directly examples. First one, father was cutting a wood. In this sentence, father is subject, was cutting is verb, a wood is a object. According to the rule, object will become subject, subject will become object. Okay, so a wood was being cut by father. Okay, students, so remember the formula and easily you will do the passive voice. Now the second one, they were drawing pictures. Okay, now in this sentence, they is a subject, were drawing is verb, pictures is an object. Okay, now pictures were being drew by them. Okay, students, drew is the pp of verb, that is a draw. Okay, yes. Now see the third one, we were drinking soft drink. Yes, student, here we is subject, were drinking is verb, soft drink is object. Okay, so according to the rule, we have to switch the role of subject and object. Subject becomes object, object becomes subject. Don't forget it. So soft drink was being drunk by us. Okay, student, so third form of drink is drunk. Okay, student, so soft drink was being drunk by us. Okay, us is a case of we. Okay, student, have understood? Very good. Now the next one, that is past perfect tense. Let's have the structure of the sentence of active voice and passive voice. Subject plus, it is past perfect. Now in past perfect, we will use had an auxiliary verb. Subject plus had plus past participle of verb plus object. And in passive voice, the structure of the sentence will be object plus had been plus past participle of verb plus by plus subject. Okay, so let's have the examples. Father had cut a wood. In this sentence, father is a subject, doer of action, had cut is a verb, verb cut is the pp of verb. Okay, cut, cut, cut. Okay, cut present form, cut past form, cut past participle. Okay, so father is subject, had cut is a verb, a wood is a object. We have to switch the role of subject and object. A wood had been cut by father. So would becomes subject here and father becomes, or the subject becomes object here. Second example, they had drew pictures. See student, they is a subject here, drew is a verb here, and pictures is object here. Okay, now see, in passive voice, the sentence will be pictures have been drew by them. Okay, students. Now next one, we had drunk soft drinks. In passive voice, the sentence will be soft drinks had been drunk by us. Okay, have understood? Very good. It is very easy, student. Now the next one, see student, there will not be passive voice of past perfect continuous tense. Okay, so let's have the next tense, that is simple future tense. Let's have the structure first. Subject plus will shall plus verb plus object. And in passive voice, object plus will be ing form of the verb plus by plus subject. What will be the examples? Let's have the examples now. Father will cut a wood. So here father is subject, will cut is a verb, and a wood is a object. So the sentence in passive voice will be a wood will be cutting by father. Next example, they will draw pictures. Here they is a subject, will draw is a verb, pictures are object. Okay, now here sentence in passive voice will be pictures will be drawing by them. Now next example, that is, we shall drink soft drinks. Okay student, now here in this sentence, we is the subject, shall drink is a verb, and soft drinks is a object. Now this sentence in passive voice will be, soft drink will be drinking by us. Okay student, have understood? Very easy. Now the next one, that is future perfect tense. Let's have the structure. Subject plus will have, shall have, plus past participle of verb plus object. The structure in passive voice in future perfect tense, object plus will have been or shall have been, plus past participle of verb, plus by, plus subject, that is object. Okay, now the example, father will have seen him. Father is subject, will have seen is a verb, and him is a object. Means we have to change the case of the pronoun. Okay, he will have been seen by father. Okay, now the next one, teacher has given marks. Okay, so teacher is subject here, has given is a verb here, and marks is the object. Now marks will subject, teacher will object. So marks will have been given by teacher. So here now marks is a subject, and teacher is a object. Now the third one, the relatives have drunk soft drink. Here the relatives are subject, have drunk is a verb, and soft drinks are object. Okay, now we have to switch the role. Soft drinks will have been drunk by the relatives. Now in this sentence, soft drinks becomes subject and the relatives become object. Okay, have you understood? Now just now I have told you that as past perfect continuous tense we could not change into passive voice, in the same way future perfect continuous tense can't be changed into passive voice. Okay students, have you understood? So here what we have studied, students, so we have studied active voice and passive voice in this lesson or video, we can say. Students, if you remember these structures of active voice and passive voice and the change in tenses into passive voice, when we do active voice into passive voice or passive voice into active voice, it is very easy to transform the sentences from active voice to passive voice or passive voice to active voice, vice versa. Okay students, if you have found this video useful to you and liked it, then student, do not forget to subscribe my channel as well as press the bell icon so that you will get notification of each and every new video. Okay students, and do not forget to share my channel to your school friends and others also. Okay students, respect your parents and teachers, be connected, be studious, and be thoughtful. Thank you.